What's up, guys? Bottai Pigs for Life here, and today we're back with another episode of The Future of Hammond's Dreams Season 4 in Jurassic World Evolution 2. So, if you guys remember last episode, we started off Jurassic Park Grand Canyon by adding a couple of enclosures, one for the Diplodocus and one for the Allosaurus. And on top of that, we also added in this really nice guest section with lots of amenities, as well as this fake little, fossil dig site attraction. Let's just take a moment to check on the dinosaurs. We've got the Diplodocus in here. So, right here, we've got 8 Diplodocus of various, different patterns. You know, one thing I kind of love is the patterns look interesting, but, like, they don't look overly complex. Like, they aren't, like, overly, like, brightly colored, which I actually really like, in my opinion. And then right over here, we have got the Allosaurus. This is my favorite skin by far. If we take a look at the other skins, I mean, they're not bad. I gotta look at this skin. Yeah, kind of bland, but oh well. Still cool nonetheless. Also, sorry if I sound a little bit nasally. I did have a bit of a sneezing fit after being in my grandparents' dusty chicken coop. So anyways, let's revert our attention back to this guest section. Is revert even a word? I don't know. I honestly don't know. So, you walk down this, street. You've got a little Spinosaurus skeleton over here. You've got plenty of hotels that look into the Diplodocus enclosure. You've also got this, nice-looking plaza with lots of seating, couple fountains. And then, once again, you've got this, little dig site. Now, one thing I want to do that I didn't really get to do last episode is I want to add in a couple of the Mediterranean rocks. Mediterranean, there we go. Add a little bit of variety. There we go. Okay, so now my plan for this episode is what I want to do is I want to first of all finish up the Morrison formation by adding an enclosure for Stegosaurus and Brachiosaurus, as well as some Dryosaurus, but we're going to have the Dryosaurus go in between the enclosures thanks to the smaller Jurassic Park gate. And then we're also going to work on this guest section over here, so that way we can connect up some of the viewing. So then, if we have time, what I might do is I might also add in Australovenator, which is going to go in an enclosure right here. And after that, if we have even more time, we'll add in Muttaburrasaurus, which will go right over here. But to start, let's get the dinosaurs in. So, we're going to do that by starting with the, viewing galleries and like the buildings that attach to the fence, so that way it's nice and aligned to the path. Alright, there we go. For now, that should do it. So we've got nice big enclosure for Stegosaurus and Brachiosaurus. I don't really think we need to add in fence along here. This is sort of like a bit of a natural barrier. If we end up having to, then we will. So I'm thinking, let's do this. Oh yeah, also, to make this look a little bit more interesting and realistic, let's add in a tad bit of foliage right along here. There. And then we get rid of that. And then, yeah, that looks really good. I think let's start with this. Let's start by connecting up some of the things. Some of these. Alright, so now I'm kind of hoping that what we can do is we can then connect these two, guest sections, because there's quite a bit of path over here. So I think that would be cool if we could do that. But first, let's get into dinosaurs. So let's first start by adding in the Stegosaurus. So I'm thinking we'll do 2 batches of Stegosaurus. Again, humble trait is everyone's best friend. And then we do the same thing for the Brachiosaurus. Sure, we'll do 10. Alright, perfect. Now, here's the thing. We're going to need an absolute ton of Dryosaurus. So first of all, let's do this. I kind of sort of want to add in like a little bit of a riverbed. There we go. You know, that way they, you know, have an excuse to go all over the place. Okay, so now let's airlift them. Let's airlift all of them. What do I want to start with? I'm thinking we start with... Let's start with the Brachiosaurus. And then we do the Stegos. Great. Now, we wait. While we do wait, you know what? Let's do this. Get rid of that for now. Let's get started on connecting these two sections. Alright, you know what? You know, that should do it, actually. That looks pretty good. And then what we can even do is, since, as you can see, we have a little bit of space in between the path and the tour track, we can add in some of the Jurassic Park lights. Love it. No, that looks great, actually. Okay, yeah, as to be expected, they're very unhappy. So, let's do this. Whoa, hang on. Can they get out? Hang on, we'll have to wait and see. But while we do that, let's do this. Good to know, they can get out. Okay, so, that means we have to do this. Alright, there we go. The enclosure situation has been figured out. We still need more, this thing. So again, I'm just gonna do that. That's fine. What do the Stegos want? They want ground fiber and ground fruit. Okay. First of all, I might do a little bit of this. Just because. And then I'll do a little bit of that. And then I know from experience that the Dryosaurus like ground leaf. So because of that, what we'll do is we'll put that like all along here. Maybe some over here. Maybe some there. They need open space now. Oh, great. That's fine. Yeah, no, that's perfect. So then, for the Dryos... So we know they like ground leaf. So let's add in some ground leaf over here. And does that interfere with the Brachies? Gosh dang it. Okay, fine. Yeah, they can go expand, sure. That's perfect, actually. They can go expand. Yeah, no, that actually is perfect. So now, what we need to do is we need to add in all the Dryos, and there's gonna be an absolute ton of them. Now here's the thing. So we need to put them in like a bunch of we need to put a bunch of them so that way they all go in like a bunch of different enclosures. I'm thinking we'll probably do like 3 batches of Dryosaurus to start, and we go from there. Alright, so now all we have to do is airlift them all over the darn place. And then what we can even do, hang on, to really optimize the view. Not that. Jeez. Alright, there we go. That looks better. You know what? This is gonna sound crazy. More Dryosaurus. We're going to fill this thing with Dryosaurus. Okay, so now while we're doing that, or while they're doing that, I should say, let's work on this. So, we need to map out where we want the Australovenator enclosure to be, and I'm thinking, let's put it right there. Nah, there's good. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to do this. So let's start by adding amenities. You know, just for now, this is a good start. There, that looks better. Hang on, how come there are no guests over here? Oh, probably because they're all over here. Okay, great. Let's see. If we connect these, now will there be guests? Yes, not much, but so yeah. So there's not really over here at the moment. That may change. Okay, so then from now until the end of the video, probably what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna work a little bit on this. I'm thinking, rather than using this as a viewing, let's just use this as like an attraction. Yeah, I think this is cool. As like, you know, just an attraction. How do I want to do this now? Okay guys, so as we're planning out this next area of the park, I just want to quickly mention that if you guys are enjoying this video so far and you want to see some more videos in regards to Planet Zoo and Jurassic World Evolution 2, then definitely consider subscribing to the channel. I know we just hit 100 subscribers, which I'm super grateful for, but if you didn't get to make it before we hit the big triple digits, then it's never too late to subscribe, and it's free, you don't have to pay a single penny, and it will help both me and the YouTube algorithm with giving you guys content that you will enjoy. And while you're at it, definitely also consider leaving a like and commenting down below for any suggestions or feedback. And as always, thank you guys so much for the unwavering support. Even taking the time to watch this video is showing me so much support, and I am incredibly grateful for that. Alright guys, so after some very, very careful consideration, here's what I think I'm gonna do. I think the Stegos, I'm gonna move into here with the Diplodocus, because they both like the same type of foliage. And this will just be for the Brachies. This over here, I think I'm gonna put Ceratosaurus in here, because those guys also lived in the Morrison formation. So then, over here, I've got like a rough idea for a plan. I've decided over here to use like a couple more abstract shapes. Probably gonna fill all this in with like some more amenities. How are we doing with amenity coverage anyway? Okay, we need some over here. Alright guys, so pretty much this next huge chunk of time-lapse is going to be working on this combined guest section. So as you can see, I'm trying to fit in a couple of amenities by the remote viewing gallery entrances. Here you can see that I am moving the Stegosaurus into the Diplodocus enclosure. I feel like in the end it made more sense because the Stegosaurus and Diplodocus need some of the same vegetation. And then yeah, pretty much the rest of the time-lapse is me just moving around some of the guest facilities, filling in the gaps with frog DNA, path. As you can see, I had to do a little bit more arranging, especially so that way I could fit some of the amenities. And so, unfortunately, I was working on the guest facility. So basically, I was doing this part of the video in chunks over the course of one day. And when I went to go do the most recent chunk, I pressed the wrong button, and because of that, I did not get a single second of it recorded. So, yeah, I'm super upset about that. But I mean, I'll be able to show you what I got done, essentially. Essentially, I worked on the, entrance that had the large amenities, and so you'll see in a little bit that I ended up filling that area with some extra hotels, and as you can see, I'm basically, like, filling this area with a lot of the decorations, obviously, hiding the backs of the buildings, adding some planters. It's not really to hide the back of the buildings per se, but it's more to hide the ugly little gaps in between the path and the back of the building. So for instance, with this building, I've got this little pattern with some of the alternating planters. Over here, I started with the Jurassic Park wall pieces, but then eventually I went back and added the Jurassic World concrete fence. And then in some of the more open areas, what I did was I first added a lot of seating, so a lot of the picnic benches and the Jurassic Park tables. As you can see right now, I'm sort of configuring the amenities, and one thing that I wanted to try, especially with this park, is customizing the looks of the amenities, so that way they all look different, and I actually really like how it looks, to be completely honest. And then also, one thing I also decided to do in not just this area, but in many of the other areas, is adding in little gardens, so like little holes in the plazas to add in like some vegetation and some rocks. And then again, added in a lot of seating, added in a couple fountains, and then there are these little areas in between the path and the map barrier, so because of that, I'm just filling it with some foliage and some rocks. And then, yeah, so pretty much from here, what I ended up doing is just, you know, here you can see me adding in a lot of the seats. Yeah, I used a lot of seats in this area, a lot of fountains, and in the end, it really looked super awesome. So yeah, so as you can see, I had to rearrange some stuff over here because I forgot to add in shelters and restrooms. And then in the other area, one thing that you'll see that I do in just a second is I ended up being able to make space for a smaller habitat. I'll go into a little bit more details when I do the mini tour, but this area right in between the path that we're placing now and the amenities is probably going to be for Lystrosaurus. I used some of the multi-wall pieces in the end. And then also, one thing you'll see in just a little while is I also went back and worked a little bit on the entry point. So after I added in a couple of the hotels in this area, I went back and deleted a couple of the hotels that were along the edge of the map, and I made like little lookout points. And one thing I was also able to do that I think looks really cool is I was able to fit in a lagoon. So again, I'll go into a lot more details when I show you guys exactly what I got done off camera. I'm still like incredibly bummed out that I did not record all the footage, but yeah, so that's pretty much all I have to say for this part of the video. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the time lapse, and I'll see you guys once this thing's done. Alright guys, so I do once again apologize for the lack of footage. I'm still super bummed out that I wasn't recording, but this is what I got done. So, as you can see, nothing with the facilities have changed. The big changes are over here. Obviously I added in a lot of these Jurassic Park wall pieces, as well as these nice looking gardens, and like, especially with like these little ponds. I love the way the little ponds look. Hang on, that's better. So like I was saying, I do enjoy the way these little ponds look. So I've got one here, and I've got one in this little area over here. So anyways, so let's stick to one thing at a time. So right over here, we've got the Jurassic Park wall pieces. We've got one little pond over here, surrounded by these Jurassic Park picnic tables. We've got some picnic benches, as well as this little rock wall surrounding it. We've got one garden. We've got two gardens. So then right over here, we've got a fountain with some more benches. We've got another pond, and then this is going to be the Lystrosaurus enclosure. So, I added in this dome viewing gallery. Pretty much what I just did is I moved the restroom that was originally over here, facing this way, and I was able to fit a remote viewing gallery entrance. So we've got this area over here. We've got a viewing gallery for guests to see the Lystrosaurus. So yeah, overall, this looks good. So here's just one more aerial view. So then, if we go over here, oh yeah, I also added a couple decorations over here. Just some more seating, a fountain, and another When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth banner. So then if we go over here, I made quite a couple changes. First of all, I completely decked this thing out with facilities. So we've got 100% amenity coverage as of now. We've got 3 amenities that have not been configured. We've got the little lookouts with shelters, which I believe I got on camera. We've got another amenity over here, as well as a shelter and a restroom. I made this path a little bit thicker so that way it would be aligned a little bit better. So then, pretty much what we're gonna do, first of all, here's an aerial overview. So this is probably not gonna be finished. So this, like, area over here is by no means done. But I'm thinking that this area over here is good for the Dimetrodon habitat. And then one thing I've also considered is that this I think is going to be for Australovenator, and this I think is going to be for Ceratosaurus. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this episode, let's do Lystrosaurus and let's do Australovenator. And you know what? Let's do one last thing. Let's add in the Muttaburrasaurus. So, yeah, one thing that I want to do over here especially is, so basically, we take this, we put this right like that. Perfect. So now the plan is what we're going to do here is we're going to add a gate here and we're going to add a gate here. So that way we can just release the Muttaburrasaurus into this area. We don't have to airlift them and go through all of that hassle. So now all we have to do is add in the fence. And we could probably even extend it over here too, to be honest. Alright, perfect. So now all we have to do is add in the water and the plants. So if I remember correctly, they like this stuff. So they like the fiber. But I'm going to add in some of the tall fiber to make it a little bit more interesting. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Let's get started with some of these guys. So, I'm thinking, for Australovenator, we'll do one full batch. And then, let's see. Where does one find Muttaburrasaurus? Perfect. And we'll probably do, like, a couple batches. Like, I'm thinking 3 batches sound pretty good. Alright, I think let's release the Muttaburrasaurus first. Oh, hang on. The tour's going the wrong way. There we go. Let's release the Muttaburrasaurus first. Yep, I did get that right. They need ground fiber. And then let's just release all of them. And from here, via airlift, we can release the Australovenator. So, yeah, they're going to go right in here. And then to sort of make the environments look the same, we'll add in some of this. And that's perfect. Okay, so then, of course, we do need meat feeders. Alright, that looks good. Okay, so they're slowly starting to migrate over here, which is great. Let's see, how do these guys like their enclosure? Obviously, they need to expand their territory. But yeah, this should actually be the perfect size for Australovenator. Alright, now we can close that. And then we could close that. And now they're stuck in here. We'll wait for them to expand their territory to the entire enclosure before we consider getting some more. Meanwhile, Lystrosaurus time. We are once again gonna do quite a lot of these, so let's start with 2 batches, and we can go from there. Alright guys, so as we are working on the last couple finishing touches of today's episode, I just wanted to touch base with you guys on a couple of things. So first and foremost, this is probably going to be one of, if not the last video that I upload for about a month, because over the month of October, I'm going to primarily be working on the anniversary videos for both Planet Zoo and Jurassic World Evolution 2. So for those of you who have been keeping up with Planet Zoo, you guys will know that a couple of days ago, the anniversary animal has been announced for Planet Zoo, which is the African leopard. By far one of, if not my absolute favorites anniversary animals. So because of that, what I plan on doing is I plan on making a couple of changes to Augusta Zoo. However, I have mentioned this a little bit in a past video, but I did also make quite a lot of changes to Augustus Zoo off camera, and originally I was gonna make them into a video, but I feel like what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do all of the updating stuff off camera, and for the anniversary video, I'm just going to make a tour video. As for Jurassic World Evolution 2, I'm primarily going to focus on the future of Hammond's dream, and I'm gonna make a couple separate videos here and there, but for the most part, when it comes to Jurassic World Evolution 2, it's gonna be primarily the future of Hammond's dream videos. For Jurassic World Evolution 3, or whatever it's going to be called, the plan is I'm probably going to start out by making some parks that are more in line with the movies. So, you know, Biosin Sanctuary, a couple of new and improved DFW facilities, some new and improved Dinosaur Protection Group facilities, or like private sanctuaries, whatever they're going to be called. I know that I've sort of created this alternative universe where Dominion essentially never happens. It's become a little bit tiresome to, keep up with, so because of that, with Jurassic World Evolution 3, the plan is we're just gonna start fresh with some more movie-accurate parks. Alright guys, so as you can see, I got a little bit carried away, and I pretty much redid this entire guest section, or well, not the entirety of it. I mostly just redid this area, so that way we would have enough room for what is going to be the Dimetrodon enclosure. So right over here is going to be enclosure for the Dimetrodon. I also made sure to pretty up some of the gaps in the area, especially right over here. I added in another little plaza with a fountain. Over here I added in a couple fountains, as well as this little border, as well as, let's see, right over here I added in another amenity. I added in another When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth banner, along with some picnic benches, some little amber pedestals, and then right over here we've got another little lookout area. So one other thing is, oh yeah, and you can see I covered up the back of the buildings. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. So one thing that I forgot to mention is that right in this lagoon is going to be Dunkleosteus, you know, to stick with the pre-dinosaur era. We've got Lystrosaurus over here. We're gonna do Dimetrodon, and then in here we're going to do the Dunkleosteus. So yeah, so I think that is a great place to end this episode. We got a lot done this episode. So to start, We added in several more dinosaurs from the Morrison formation, such as these Brachiosaurus. We added in 4 Brachiosaurus. We added in 10 Stegosaurus right over here, with various skins from both the Lost World and Jurassic World. Yep, right over here is Jurassic World, and right over here is one of the Lost World. And by the way, all of these skins look absolutely phenomenal, especially this one. And then, of course, we added in a ton of Dryosaurus. Like, there's so many in here. It is insane. So then, let's see. We also did a lot of work on this guest section. Unfortunately, a lot of which I got done off camera because, again, I pressed the wrong button in the recording software. But this guest section looks absolutely phenomenal with all the amenities and the other guest facilities, but also just the decorations and the amount of detail that I put into this is just absolutely stunning, especially with this little garden area over here. On top of that, we added in some more dinosaurs, such as the Australovenator. We got some right in here. We also added in the Muttaburrasaurus right over here. Lots of Muttaburrasaurus. I love this skin especially. And not to mention, we also added some non-dinosaur species in the form of Lystrosaurus, and we can get a good view of them from here. Or you can get a view from in here. And then, not to mention, we were able to prepare for the next episode by completing the entry guest area. So yeah, so that leads us in to the plan for next episode. So next episode, I think we're going to finish up this area by adding in the species that are going to be in here. So that's going to include Dunkleosteus, Dimetrodon, and then this will be the Ceratosaurus enclosure. And then we're going to get started on the next enclosure, which is going to be for the Therizinosaurus, the Oviraptor, and the Mononychus. And that should segue into the Nemegd formation. We'll also probably complete this guest section right over here. So yeah, with that being said, that is gonna wrap up today's video. Really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If so, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to see some more Planet Zoo and Jurassic World Evolution 2 content. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.